During the wedding reception of a young couple, the guests decided to play a drunken game of hide and seek. It was decided that the groom was it, and he eventually found everyone except his new bride. The longer he searched, the more frustrated he became, and he was soon furious, thinking she had left. He decided the game wasn't funny anymore, and went home without his bride. As weeks went by, he accepted that she had second thoughts, and went on with her life, so he did the same. A few years later, a cleaning lady dusted off an old trunk in the attic of the building where the reception had taken place. Out of curiosity, she opened it. Inside the trunk was the rotted body of the missing bride, who'd apparently became locked in the trunk she'd chosen to hide in. Whether she suffocated or starved was unknown, but her face was frozen in a scream. A wife came home just in time to find her husband in bed with another woman. With strength born of fury, she dragged him down the stairs, out the back door, and into the tool shed in the backyard. She literally manhandled him, putting his organ in a vise. Lightning quick, she secured it tightly and removed the handle. She picked up a hacksaw. Her terrified husband screamed, "Stop, stop, you're not going to cut it off, are you?" With a gleam of revenge in her eye, his wife put the saw in his hand and said, "Nope, I'm going to set the shed on fire. You do whatever you have to." There was the husband who was in the habit of taking the family dog for a nice long walk each evening. It was good exercise for both of them. His wife felt, and the dog became so used to the routine that it positively drooled to be taken out on schedule every night. When her husband was sick one evening, the wife took the dog out instead, and to her surprise, the dog pulled vigorously at the leash and led her around the block to a house around the corner and began to scratch at the door. A female voice called out, "I won't be a minute, darling." Soon the door was opened by an attractive young woman in negligee, and the dog dashed in straight to a dish of meat that was waiting for him, as usual. A bride and groom are at their wedding reception. Everything is going perfectly when the groom stands up to give a toast. He thanks all the guests for coming and for the stack of presents on the table. He thanks the father of the bride for the beautiful reception. He then tells the guests that he has a surprise for all of them. He instructs them to look under their chairs. They do, and find a picture taped to the bottom of each seat. The guests are shocked and horrified. It's a picture of the bride and the best man having sex. The groom says he had a feeling they were having an affair and hired an investigator who took the photo. He then says to the father of the bride, "Thanks for the $30,000 sit-down, dinner, and party, but I'm out of here." And he walked out. He filed for an annulment the following Monday. A man saw an ad in the paper for an almost new Porsche, in excellent condition. Price $50. He was certain the printers had made a typographical error, but even at $5,000, it would have been a bargain. So he hurried to the address to look at the car. A nice-looking woman appeared at the front door. When questioned, she replied that she had placed the ad in the paper and that the price was indeed $50. "The car," she said, "is in the garage. Come and look at it." The fellow was overwhelmed. It was a beautiful Porsche and, as the ad promised, nearly new. He asked if he could drive the car around the block. The woman said, "Of course," and went with him. The Porsche drove like a dream. The young man peeled off $50 and handed it over, somewhat sheepishly. The woman gave him the necessary papers, and the car was his. Finally, the new owner couldn't stand it any longer. He had to know why the woman would sell the Porsche at such a ridiculously low price. Her reply was simple. With a half smile on her face, she said, "My husband ran off with his secretary a few days ago and left a note instructing me to sell the car and the house and send him the money."